Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers. Welcome to a brand new amazing Doctor Who review for today. For this review, I'm reviewing Doctor Who Once and Future, A Genius for War, starring the 7th actor to play the Doctor, aka Sylvester McCoy. And as you can tell, I had to dress for the vacation for this one. So, here I am wearing my absolutely fantastic cosplay outfit of the 7th Doctor. And to be honest with you, this is my favourite outfit of the 7th Doctor, his season 26 look. So, of course, I'm going to cosplay it quite a while. So, Doctor Who, Once and Future, A Genius for War. What can I tell you about it? Well, it's absolutely a cracking, amazing audio. And I absolutely enjoyed every single moment of this because this story, not only does it celebrate 6 years of Doctor Who, it celebrates the Daleks, it celebrates Davros, and of course we have the Time Lords on it, and some other things do go on. So, are you ready for me to talk about Doctor Who, A Genius for War? Let me know. So, anyway, let's cut straight to the chase. The Doctor was pulled out of time by the Time Lords. Why? Because the Time Lords have received a distress call from Davros saying that the Daleks have imprisoned him on their prison moon. Now, the thing about this is the Doctor is still degenerating, so we do have kind of echoes between Stephen Newman and, of course, Michael Troughton. And really, in the merge between Michael Troughton's second Doctor performance, we end up getting the 7th Doctor, and as he's pulled out of time. And the Doctor does generally stabilise because for being not in his own time zone, he does basically just stabilise. And of course, he's in his 7th persona. So the Doctor is basically there. Now, this story is set during the Time War. So the fact that we've got the 7th Doctor in one of the most bloodiest wars in all of history of Doctor Who. And to be honest with you, I would have really gathered that the 7th Doctor would have done so well in the Time War. I wish, the 7th Doctor would have been a perfect warrior, considering how much of a chess master player of the Doctor he is. So we have the return of Kevin Bones, who is the General. Now, we know Kevin from 2 Doctor Who appearances in the modern series, aka The Day of the Doctor and Hell Bent. So in this story, he's there on this Time Lord space station. Now, it's the same space station that used to be used as the Time Lord's courtroom that the Doctor in his 6th incarnation was put on trial by the Time Lords, and of course a future version of himself known as the Valeyard. But for this, it's absolutely quite good because the Doctor is not being put on trial. He's there. He's listened to Davros's play. He thinks it's quite worrying that the fact that Davros is basically calling for help, and the Doctor does decide to go and investigate. So when they do get to the Daleks' prison planet, it is impenetrated by a shield. But luckily, the Davros does break the shield of the planet, so the Daleks can break through by dematerialization. And then, of course, he comes across Davros. So the Doctor and Davros kind of have like a little bit of a good little catching up session. That the fact the Daleks have put Davros in this prison planet because they just can't trust him. And he's in it because of the Dalek Emperor, put him there himself. But what's more interesting about how the way the story is performed, now we have the return of Tim Malloy. Now, Tim Malloy has played Davros in 3 Doctor Who stories on TV, aka Resurrection, Revolution, and Remembrance of the Daleks. So to actually hear him play Davros once again is absolutely spot on. Absolutely, it doesn't feel like he's stepped away from the role. It doesn't feel like we had a new actor to play Davros in Julia Bleach. It actually just feels like it is the same persona as Davros. And I kind of wish we had Tim Malloy return as the character as Davros. I really do, because it makes me want to get rid of Julia Bleach and just basically get the return of Tim Malloy. That's what they should have done originally, I think. Get back Tim Malloy. He would have been perfect for a Davros against the 10th and 12th Doctors. But what else can I say about the story? Well, the Doctor does rescue Davros and he does take him to the Time Lord space station. The Daleks do end up following him. But there's one thing about this strange about this kind of prison planet. There are clones of Khalid soldiers left over from the fantastic war between the Khalids and the Thals. So they all think they are fighting against the Thals still, and basically they think, oh, we are there with the Thals, Davros is here, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, the Daleks do invade, and basically, as Davros has escaped from the Daleks, what is Davros's plan, eh? What is Davros want? Well, Davros makes a plea to the Time Lords to help create a special weapon. A weapon that would help win in the Time Lords' case and destroy the Daleks. Now, of course, this creature needed Time Lord DNA, and of course, it would have got made something that became a bit of a myth until Series 9, and that is the hybrid. So this is where the beginning of the hybrid starts to develop, starts to loafen in the Time Lord mind consciousness. So really, so then of course Davros is trying to use the Doctor's DNA, but the Doctor, of course, was hit by a degenerated weapon, which basically caused him to degenerate. He ends up putting it inside a Dalek mutant, and the Dalek mutant ends up kind of killing itself because of the Doctor degenerating form. So anyway, the Doctor does help the Daleks. Well, sorry, he helps the Time Lords capture Davros. Davros is there thinking, oh, I'm going to get away with this. The Daleks won't find me. The Daleks invade the Gallifrey base, destroy the Time Lords, capture Davros, and put him back on his prison planet, where the Doctor is basically pardoned of all courses, and of course the Time Lord General let him go back into his own time zone, which of course he's still basically kind of degenerating. So he does degenerate from the 7th Doctor into a previous incarnation. So I will talk a bit more about that one in a bit of the next story, because he degenerates into Tim Taylor's version of the 3rd Doctor, and where basically the next story follows up on that one, which is called To the Company. So this story, it's got Daleks, it's got Davros, it's got the 7th Doctor, it's got Time Lords, and of course it's in the middle of the Time War. So what can I say about it? Generally, from my review on it, it's absolutely a fantastic story. It's so much better than Past Lives. Again, Past Lives, I did absolutely enjoy that audio, and I did say it was a 10 out of 10. Then, of course, The Artist at the End of Time was basically a 9 out of 10, because I did enjoy it, but I didn't really connect with the story as I did with this one. But A Genesis of War, A Genius of War, for War, is a fantastic story. I absolutely connect with this story straight away, instead of little easing into it like I did with the previous story. This is so much better than Past Lives as well. I absolutely love listening to Sylvester McCoy playing the Doctor, because he doesn't feel like he's actually been away from the role. And of course, Sylvester McCoy hasn't, because he's been in Big Finish for quite a while now, since 1999. So it's really good to hear the 7th Doctor in the Time War, instead of asking questions about the Time War, he just kind of does what the Time Lords say. He agrees to it, and then he goes and off and helps them free Davros, ends up bringing them back, trying to draw the General out of getting another hybrid sort of thing out there. And he is placed back into his own time zone. So yeah, this audio, it's an absolutely whopper. It's an absolutely iconic story. It's a good Dalek story as well. I mean, the Daleks have got a big part to play in this one, same as Davros. I know in some Dalek stories with Big Finish, the Daleks don't really do much, and that's basically looking at Dalek Heart, Dalek Soul, and Alien Heart with the 5th Doctor. I never really kind of enjoyed that audio between the Daleks and the 5th Doctor. But this one is absolutely iconic. It's brilliant. It's amazing. If you haven't listened to this one, I highly do recommend it. So far, I am absolutely enjoying this series. I really am enjoying it. I mean, I absolutely am looking forward to giving you my honest review on the next story, To the Company, starring Colin Baker, Jackie Tyler, and of course Michelle Ryan as Lady Christina de Souza, and of course we have the return of a 4th Doctor companion in that story as well. And we have basically the very first appearance of a iconic Big Finish Time Lord villain known that we do know later on, which I won't say. This story, again, A Genesis for War, A Genius for War, is fantastic. It's brilliant. It's amazing. I cannot say how good I actually enjoyed this story. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if you haven't listened to Once and Future, the first 2, I would highly recommend that one first. But this one, so far, this has actually took over my favourite story of Once and Future. Yeah, I still got 4 or 5 stories left out of this 7-part. So this is story 3. Yeah, this is literally the 3rd story into this 7-part story. It's brilliant. It's amazing. There's 4 stories left for me to review. I'm looking forward to diving into that one. So yeah, join me for more awesome Doctor Who content, and have a cracking day, you amazing viewers and subscribers.